Hello, everyone. I haven't seen y'all in a year. Oh my god. Welcome back to the TOUTTE podcast. I am Bryce, here with Ryan, parentheses, in the off season, and parentheses. How are we doing today, Ryan, parentheses, in the off season, and parentheses?
I am doing wonderful. I'm very glad to be back. Not only is Bryce doing a haha New Year's bit, but we've been a lot of the time, sometimes I'll be honest, we've gotten lazy. This time,
What?
2 weeks ago when we were gonna record, I was sick. And then last week, Bryce had to work. So it just hasn't worked out, but I'm
Mhm.
here. I'm not on my phone. I'm on a new laptop where the picture quality looks like dog shit. But
Looks great.
Bryce said he prefers it. So, um, if you guys care enough, let me know. In our many 21 subscribers, let me know what you prefer. I can switch back to my phone in the future if needed. Also, smash that like button. Go down and subscribe. How Tay Podcast is here
Yeah.
today.
One lucky subscriber will get $1 million gift card. Um, so stay tuned. And you'll get that gift card, and it might be me because I subscribe to this. So on another account, I think one of them is me. So I'm gonna give it to myself. But yeah, unfortunately, we've had sickness, we've had jobs. You might think Taute is our full time job, but it doesn't quite pay the bills for us yet. So we've
There.
yeah, we'll get there one day. But we since it is the off season, we were like, hey, off season, off seasons, Madam Morrible, Flip It Around, WW, Wicked Witch. We can rank the off seasons, the spin offs, realize, realize, realize. So we're going to be ranking, and more so than ranking, though, we're just going to kind of like go through them all. Each of the spin off seasons that have come over the course of Big Brother's franchise, it's about 5 of them. And we're just going to walk through them because everybody probably forgets about them. Um, and then we're going to just talk about which ones we prefer. Um, and I'm really excited to do that. It's been so long since I've touted. It's been oute for a bit, and I've just been so lonely, you know.
Um, I agree. Originally, I doubt anyone watches to the end, but Bryce and I usually ramble. Like we're not super great at planning. At the end of our last video, we just rambled a bit and came up with ideas. And originally, this idea started as a reindeer games retrospective for Christmas, but it's currently January 12th.
Merry
So this
Christmas.
even then, before it got delayed this much, we had decided to just do spin-offs instead. Because Bryce didn't want to rewatch reindeer games, so we didn't remember like all of this. We didn't rewatch any of these. We'll be talking about them all for memory. Some of them will be more detailed than others. For example, I did not watch Over the Top live. Bryce did. He knows a lot more. Bryce erased Celebrity Big Brother 3 from his memory, and I wish I could, but unfortunately I remember it. So I'll mantle on that one.
Yeah.
But
So
yeah, we're just gonna kind of be talking about them, and then we'll give a little ranking at the end. But there's only 5 seasons, so we'll just kind of spitball our thoughts on them.
and you best believe I'm going to pull up the wiki. Um,
I think
best
I
believe I'm going to be staring at that shit this whole entire thing. I'm not going to look around once.
see. I also do like how you were doing like a ton of wordplay, flip around shit, and you didn't even reference when Big Brother did that with the Mon Wan twist.
I don't even, as if I fucking remember what that is.
It's in Celebrity Big Brother 3.
I think you are maybe the only person in the entire world who remembers what that is.
No, you because they had a like hat that said Mon Wan on it, but then at the nomination,
Oh,
then it was upside down and it was the nom now, and then one of them got nominated.
that's cunt. Actually, I vaguely remember that. They should bring that back every season. The Manwan. That's changed the game. Flip it around. Man nam nam. Wow. Now
Nom now.
flip it around. Okay. You sent me a list of what order we should go in, and I'm gonna pull that up right now.
I just said let's go in canonical order. It was OTT first, then we hit celebrities, then reindeer games happened.
We're just gonna start with OTT. We're just gonna get right into it. Okay. Let me pull up the wiki just so I can remember week by week. But this season, just as, like we said, I watched it, Ryan didn't really. This was such a bizarre season. It's so funny because it hung around forever. Whenever you search Big Brother, you just see it in there. It's a lost media. If you didn't watch it, it's not really on pretty much anything anymore. So the girls that saw it did, the girls that didn't. So if you didn't see it, this is a place to come. And I'm going to tell you what happened, because there's never been anything in Big Brother that was like this. And there have never been anything that will be like it. It was really good at times. It was really terrible at times. And it started off with the groundbreaking twist. I compare this to when they brought back Coach and Ozzy for Survivor. They decided there's only room for one homosexual on this cast, and we just can't decide, Jose or Jason, and we're going to leave it in the hands of the fans. And for those who don't know, all of Big Brother OTT was in the hands of the fans. The people would play the game, and then the fans would vote for who to evict. And then they'd also vote to give people like care packages, which was like a special power thing. They did that in 18 as well. They do that each week. They give it to someone.
They also nominated someone.
They also nominated someone. So basically the people would try to play the game, and then America would fuck it up every week just to be hilarious. And when I say they did that every week to be hilarious, I mean every week. I have never seen a flip-floppier player in Big Brother history than America this season, because what they did was they literally went side back and forth consistently the entire game. They would just because it was all, I don't know, it was all super fans. But I, of course, had just watched 17. It was right after 17, and I loved Jason. I was huge on Jason. I don't know why. There was a big love for Jason. He did become a little hated after this season, but not for me. I loved him, and I voted for him. Now, our friend Ryan was saying he would have voted for the mastermind, Jose. Is that correct?
Well, I like Jason and all, but at the time, remember, this was the era where I watched Big Brother 14 and 15, and my mom saw 15 and said, Ryan, you're too young to watch this. These people are insane. So then I did not watch 16 or 17. So I did Jason originally, but then I came back for 18. So I saw Jose, and I was like, this guy is fucking insane. He's a horrendous player. I just think it would be funny to have the Messiah of the newbies in a house with all newbies.
Yes.
It would be a BB19 Paul level of dominance, personally, I think. But I'm still not mad with Jason being there. I still don't know why they didn't just throw both of them in there and say, here you fucking go.
Because you can't have two gay people on TV. It's illegal at this point in time. Like,
They did it in Big Brother 8 and 9.
Yeah, and then one of them quit in 8 or in 9. The only time you could do it is if they're a couple, because gay people can't exist without being a couple.
Okay. Well, then Jose and Jason should have just started hooking up.
Yeah, he was busy with Paulie.
Which one?
Or was it Paulie or was it Zach? Jose hooked up with someone. It might have been Zach.
I don't know. I know Zach and Frank.
I think it was Zach. Wait.
I didn't know this. I did bring up Bryce apparently didn't know that post BB18, Jose would later date Jeffree Star, which I think is very funny.
Yeah.
Did you also know that Dr. Will is Jeffree Star's plastic surgeon?
I did not. That's hilarious. Yeah, no, I think there was like an OnlyFans collab with Jose and Zach Rance. If it's not Zach, I forget, but it's very funny.
Well, maybe it's Gay Steven.
Oh yeah, I found the picture. I don't think they did anything, but honestly, low-key, let me pull up this picture for everybody to see.
Do we need? How bad is it?
We do. It's funny. We're not showing anything. Don't worry.
Okay.
But for those who don't know,
TOUTTE is getting all the good content.
Yeah. Oh my god, how do I fucking screen share? Okay, here we go. Look at this shit. Oh my god, get bigger.
Oh.
What was that? Look at this.
Google image does. Oh.
The big two right here. Okay.
Anyways,
okay. We're gonna get past that though. Yeah.
I do want to also briefly mention I have seen OTT like a year or
Mhm.
two ago before it got wiped off the face of the earth. I did do a watch through. My
Oh,
memory is
good.
still pretty hazy though.
Good. Um, so Jason won by like a fucking landslide. Like it was not close, if I recall. It was like 5 billion% to like the one Jose Truther. So we get Jason on the season, which makes a big impact because this ends up being one of those seasons where the one returning player just dominates the entire season and no one does anything about it. Well, people try to do anything about it, but week one comes and oh god, the house pretty. I guess I can't give. I'm not going to give the nitty gritty of every single week, but this becomes one of the most split house seasons of all time. Like pretty fucking instantly, like extremely instantly. It's actually kind of crazy how quickly this becomes. We get Monty as an HOH. He makes some sort of fuck ass alliance, Monty Pythons or something. Um, it's
No,
something like that.
wasn't he also in a Four Horsemen?
Yeah,
Cornbread and I want to say Cornbread, Monty, Shane, and Scott or something.
yeah. And then there was also Alex, Monty, Morgan, Shelby, Whitney. So Monty pretty much starts like I don't know who starts it, but the Ball Smashers side. So you're gonna see this season becomes Ball Smashers, which is like Shelby, uh, Alex, Morgan, the sisters, again Monty, versus
Don't forget Scott.
yeah Scott, versus the Late Night Jamboree, which is like Justin, Danielle, Chrissy, Jason, and I'm gonna tell you guys up front, people these days seem to hate the Late Night Jamboree and love the Ball Smashers. I was the biggest Late Night Jamboree stan, and I still am to this day. The Ball Smashers, there's been few people in alliances I was saying that I hated more in my life than the Ball Smashers, and I don't remember why at this point. It's been too long, but I just remember despising them. And I know they were worse at the game, but it was all in good fun, so whatever. He puts up Danielle and Jason, and of course, this is who goes home. Danielle and Jason definitely don't stay and run the season. Oh, wait, they do, because, like we said, America has a vote to nominate someone. And so, as is traditional in this game, they say one side is up, we're going to nominate someone from the other side. And they know that Monty has his four with someone named fucking Cornbread. So, we're also going to address that there is a person in this universe that goes by the name of Cornbread on national TV.
Well,
and
not TV, it's online.
yeah, and he was on his way to run the season. He was running the game like Dan Dr. Will. Cornbread was misting everywhere. Cornbread was leaving his crumbs. And by that I mean he had his male alliance, and he was kind of an asshole, actually. And he got put up with Danielle and Jason, the leader of the Ball Smasher side. Jason won the first veto, which was big, and Chrissy went up. So again, Danielle, Jason, Chrissy were the first three noms. These are like the three main people who are in the Late Night Jamboree and run the season. So literally from week one, the season is split directly in half, and America puts up Cornbread. Now, the vote comes in, and it's a gigantic blindside where I believe Cornbread is blindsided, and I don't think anybody else is blindsided.
No.
I'm noticing here that Alex evicted Danielle, and her sister evicted Cornbread. So,
I assume he was like, let me throw a vote and cause chaos.
but yeah, I think there were two things, which was one, Jason and Danielle's. Well, Jason and Danielle and Chrissy were just like better at the game. Jason was just running the show, and even though that other side kind of wanted them out, I believe the votes just weren't there because they could have had the votes. They absolutely could have had the votes. It came down to the wire, even though it was unanimous. But nobody really gave a fuck about Cornbread. So the people in the middle were just like, Jason's talking 100 miles an hour, like fighting for these people, and I don't give a shit about Cornbread. So he went home first, but it was a big deal because losing Jason or Danielle or Chrissy would have changed the season completely. So week one, America completely overthrows the HOH, and we move on to the next week, right? And I don't know if we should go week by week like this, because it's going to take forever, but we're going to...
Too long.
But that's just the gist, right?
TO, next week, like, Alex wins HOH. Boom. House is flipping. Danielle and Shane showmance on the block. Oh, except Monty's a white Southern man who nobody likes, so of course America nominates him. Shane
And it's not just that. Monty is on the side of the HOH, and also on the other side of Jason. People were rooting for Jason at this point, I think, too. So, yeah.
And then, of course, Shane wins veto. Chrissy goes up. I don't know why they keep nominating Chrissy instead of...
Chrissy was the eternal pawn. So Chrissy was one of my favorites. She just talked and yapped and bitched and whatever. She was one of those people who works at, like, a rude restaurant and went viral for it or something, where they, like, insult you. And Chrissy was kind of like a sack of potatoes, but, like, a queen, in my opinion. But she was just the one on the Late Night Jamboree side that they felt like they could just nom over and over again and get away with it, if that makes sense.
And I just I know that screenshot of her, like, going and looking at the fucking rule book to complain or something.
I love her. She's one of the biggest characters of all time. I wish we could bring her back. But yeah, Monty versus Danielle, and Danielle barely fucking stays in a tiebreaker vote. Literally the second week we have a tiebreaker vote because the house is so split. We have Morgan, Shelby, Whitney, and Scott all voting off Danielle, so that is the Ball Smasher side. We have Shane, Neely, Justin, and Jason saving Danielle. So, again, we have Shane, Jason, Danielle, Chrissy, Justin, Shane. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and...
That's the sides. We know the sides of this.
Scott was, like, a middle player here, and he, like, planted his fucking flag in order to try to say fuck-ass Monty for some reason.
Yep, but Monty went home.
And all the Late Night Jamboree fucking hate him. But then, of course, he wins the next HOH.
Yep.
This is funny to me because America knew what all the care packages would be ahead of time.
Yep.
So they could plan it out. And Scott wins this HOH, and the next care package is like, all right, this veto is extra powered, but there's 3 different vetoes you can pick from.
Yeah.
They all mess up the HOH's planned. And then they give the care package to Scott. So they say, hey, Scott, we hate you. Here's all the vetoes that you can pick from that will mess you up. You can at least pick which one of them will fuck you up. And he's like,
correct.
Oh, guys.
Anyways, yeah, he puts up Chrissy and Neely, and at this point in time, the world decides the other side has lost 2 people, so even though we hate them a lot, we're now going to switch to the other side because we want the season to go back and forth. So they just put up Danielle and make sure someone from the Late Night Jamboree leaves. Justin vetoes Chrissy for whatever the fuck reason. And we get Danielle, Neely, and Shane goes because he's the biggest threat. It's sad. It's Shane versus Danielle. Danielle cries. And that's it. So, again, Chrissy wins HOH out of nowhere.
That was also a fucking tiebreaker.
Yep.
Do you know why they voted out Danielle instead of Neely?
Like
the Late Night Jamboree.
Neely was very liked, and Danielle was one of the biggest targets of... instead of Neely. That's a good question. Oh my god, I don't know. I think
it's because they were trying to save Shane, who's stronger, and they
yeah,
did America's vote, and America nominated Danielle.
That's probably it. Yeah, I think so. And Neely actually was also very well insulated. Like she was well situated within her side. She gets forgotten about a lot because of this next week, where Chris wins HOH. Morgan and Scott go up. Guess what? America randomly out of nowhere, after liking her the entire season, decides to nominate Neely from the Late Night Jamboree side again, just to go against the HOH and even it out. I don't know why it was Neely. I stanned Neely at the time. Some people were saying she was annoying. I didn't see it. I thought she was a delight, and I thought she was playing very well, but she's like one of the most forgotten people ever now. So,
in the season, I remember being really confused why Neely specifically went up, and I tried Googling it, and I couldn't. Reddit was kind of just like, I don't know, we didn't like her.
That's literally what happened. They liked her the entire... This was the season decided by Reddit. This was Reddit speaks, because no one else was fucking watching this. So it was like, well, Neely... Everyone else from the Jamboree side had, like, went up, had been in trouble, you know, and they wanted someone... And they flipped... And Neely had just kind of been safe and been doing well, and, like, maybe talked about it once or twice, and they were like, we hate Neely now. We're just going to put her up just to have someone new on that side up. We hate her now. There was no reason they hated her now. But, you know, Chrissy won HOH, someone from the other side must go up. So Neely goes up with Scott and Morgan. Morgan wins veto. Neely goes up with Scott and Whitney. And at this point, again, it ties. Does it tie for a third week in a row? No. Alex won a care package that made her safe. so she didn't.
Okay.
She actually needed that, but no, 3-2 Danielle.
Girl, Neely
3-3, yeah.
America's the swing.
It's 3-3. Yeah.
America votes that fucking Neely. Bye bye.
So is that 3 ties in a row?
Essentially, like it's going back and forth between America and the HOH being the tiebreaker.
Isn't that fucking fun? And America evicted Neely over Scott. Like, why? I don't know. But hilarious, Justin for Neely.
Danielle wins HOH, and they say, you know what, Danielle,
Mom.
have your HOH. We'll put up Scott for you.
Thank God. It's because they were like, okay, we swung back to the other side maybe a little bit too much. And Scott was really annoying. So yeah, Scott, Shelby, Whitney. Danielle wins. Scott, Shelby, Whitney. Care package. I guess.
For some reason, she vetoed Whitney and nominated Morgan. I don't know what the point of that was.
It actually makes a difference because Whitney ended up being like a flipper. And they were just worried about the votes.
Okay, I remember watching that because in a couple weeks, when Whitney does go home in like the double, her entire side was so mad at her for like flipping, but she didn't really flip. She was just like
she did
on the block or like nominated or something, and like it didn't matter anyways. Like she was at the bottom, and then she was at the bottom, and
so Whitney is actually one of the most interesting people of this season. I loved her. She was so sweet. She was playing good. She was so in with the ball smashers, and then she just flipped. And I know you're saying Whitney like didn't really flip, but she had fully flipped. And maybe it didn't show in the votes, but you know, she went from hanging out with Morgan and Alex to hanging out with this new group all the time. But she was playing both sides really well. But at a certain point, they kind of figured out that she had flipped before she gets robbed. Also at this time is one of the most viewed Big Brother videos in the history of the show, if not maybe the number one. Do you remember?
The next president of the United States is
Donald Trump. And they go, Games, where were you?
Julie, you're joking.
And Danielle, I remember Danielle was the only one who called it, and everyone was hating her, calling her like a Republican pig because she thought Donald Trump was going to beat Hillary. But she was correct.
Like, yeah, all of the like people who were voting are the people that are going to vote for Trump. Like, I don't want it to happen, but it's clearly going to, and then it did.
People got nasty to Danielle specifically this season, and I thought Danielle was a delight. But
leaving next,
I don't remember. But she was a huge character. But they said she was a mega Republican. They said, which I don't know if that's true. They said she like killed her dog or something because like a dog sitter messed up for her or something niche. Like people were going crazy online after she was like a favorite for most of the season. And I think part of it was because she predicted Donald Trump would win and they just took out their anger on her. But what a clip. It's still, I can't watch it. It makes me sad because like it's the number one clip. Like Republicans will go to be like, I love to come here to see the libtards get owned. Like, but it happened, and it's a good piece of a time capsule because nobody expected it.
Anyways, after Neely leaves, then Scott fucking leaves because who cares?
Yeah.
I really think it's funny looking at this voting chart how there's 5 people that can vote, but the care package is that you get to eliminate 3 fucking votes. So there's just 2 people voting plus America. So Scott just leaves because the ball smashers have majority and they're going to say the people they care about.
Correct. And I do find it interesting that they put up Scott, but then they voted for 2 different sides for these things. They gave, So, like I said, America, biggest flip-flopper in history of Big Brother.
Shelby wins HOH. They make Jason co-HOH so he's safe. And then even though Shelby won the competition, the week ends with 3 ball smashers on the block because of the veto. So, and I have something. I have the most to say about this week. Go on your rant.
The rant is not going to start with what you think it's going to start with. Okay. So here's the thing: we have this co-HOH, right? Is this? Wait, I just got to make sure that this is the right week.
For some reason they each nominate somebody from their own side or something. I remember from the edit, which I didn't understand.
Yes. So this is what it is. They each nominate someone from their own side because they're both scared of like losing their favorite people and they're trying to like work together. And Jason pulls out some crazy mist, right? So they put up Danielle and Whitney, and Alex gets put up by America after being America's favorite or whatever, right? And I think at this point, I don't know if people know Alex and Morgan are sisters. By the way, Alex and Morgan are sisters. Why'd they do that? Beats me. But Jason wins the veto, right? And this is the most unnecessary lie in the history of ever. And I think it's why people hated Jason, and I loved it. I don't even care. It's stupid gameplay. It is stupid gameplay. But Jason wins the veto. Alex and Whitney are up, and Danielle is up, right? So one person from his side, two people from the other side. And for some reason, I guess he can make the renomination. So he's going to veto.
He won veto, so he's going to nominate the person that he put up from his own side. So he's going to veto Danielle since he nominated her, and then put up renom.
And he's going to put up Morgan. However, in this time, he goes to Alex, Shelby, and Morgan, and he's like, I'm flipping. I'm with you guys. We're going to take out, like, Justin or something. I'm with you guys. And makes a big alliance. There's these clips of the three girls holding each other, jumping and celebrating because Jason's really going to do it. And he talks to them as if he's going to do it the entire day. Then he vetoes Danielle and puts up Morgan anyways. There's no reason for him to do this. At all. At all. They were shockingly, like, less mad. They're like, good play. But was it? No. He had no reason and just bold-faced lies to their faces about vetoing one of them. And his explanation is literally because, like, he's bored and he hates them.
He's just bored. It's so
like, he has just ran this season the entire time and is just bored and hates them. And this is a perfect week to encapsulate his mist, where he had a co-HOH with one of them and ended up getting three of them on the block. And then, Ryan, one of the worst moves of all time. Morgan, Alex, and Whitney are nominated, okay? So that's technically three ball smashers, but Whitney's flipped at this point, and she flipped to get herself saved. This is where she fully flips. There is only one person now on their side eligible to get a care package, and that is Morgan. Alex has been the bigger threat, but she's already gotten a care package. You can only get a care package one time, right? So the only person left on the other side to get a care package, and these care packages are gigantic, is Morgan. However, the ball smashers, or the late night jamboree, gets too cocky because Alex has just been put up by America. They think they're a lot more likable, which, even though I think they are too, they forget that America's flipped every single week, and they think no way is Morgan ever going to get a care package because America wouldn't flip again for the 100th time, right? And Morgan's also really boring. I'm sorry for the Morgan likers out there. She is just dull. Alex is by far the better and more entertaining sister. Shelby just yaps and yaps and is entertaining as well. Morgan's just a rock, you know? So they decide Alex is a bigger threat and evict Alex over Morgan, leaving Morgan eligible to get a care package, which actually completely destroys the chances of the Lightning Jamboree to win the game, because at this point, once Morgan is pretty much like the last one left on her side, America just rallies behind them, and they lose any chance to kind of like get them out because they allow Morgan to get this care package. So historically dumb move, shouldn't have done it, even though Alex is a bigger threat. And Alex goes home over her sister Morgan. And yeah, I've been yapping for a while, so you can continue and we can wrap this shit up.
And remember, after Alex gets evicted, she then later on goes on to win, sequester Big Brother US versus Canada in a triumphant victory over Big Brother Canada's Hamza ?
Beats me.
Don't remember. But then the week after that, you'll never guess who wins the care package in the double eviction. Morgan. Yeah. What is the care package? She just has the veto.
Yep.
And this is, I assume, based on looking at the chart before nominations. So
yes.
She's not allowed to be nominated. And they know, well, if we nominate Shelby, she's just going to veto Shelby anyways. So Danielle puts up Justin and Whitney so they can just snipe Whitney out of the fucking game.
Yep. And it's very unfortunate because Whitney had done a great job flipping by this point, and like I was such a Whitney stan, but she was at the bottom of the side she flipped to. Yep. So again, it was a busted care package in that not only did she get a veto, but she couldn't be nominated. Doesn't really make sense to me. It felt a little rigged and weird, but of course I was so pissed at America for giving it to her too. But America's gonna do.
Shelby wins the next HOH, and Morgan gets put up by America, but Shelby wins veto, saves her. Danielle and Jason are on the block. I cannot believe they evict Danielle here, but also I understand because she won 2 back-to-back HOHs and a veto in the last couple weeks.
Mm-hmm. So like, and I will say this. I would just like to note there's been now multiple weeks in a row, like Alex won a care package, then America nominated Alex, then Morgan won a care package, then Morgan nominated Alex. Like, these people America did not give a fuck. Did not give a fuck. at all. So I just want people to know, like, it has come now historically because Morgan won that, like, Ball Smasher's good, Late Night Jamboree bad, as if that's what was happening the whole time. And people forget that America flip-flopped back and forth, and the only reason that the Late Night Jam, or that the Ball Smashers won in the end was because it just happened to land on a week where they decided to like the Ball Smashers. Yeah, like, it's not like a historic thing. It's like, it just landed there because there was 2 versus 1, so they chose the one, as they've been doing all season. It's not like they were just so much more likable than the other side. America was flipping that shit.
Especially, like, I'm convinced that if Justin is in the finals, he just sweeps it anyways.
Probably not.
I remember, maybe. From my memory, I've heard that Justin was, like, the most popular.
He might have been. It was so bad. Justin, by the end, was the most popular of that group because the Jason and Danielle and Chrissy hate had gotten so unbelievably strong. However, people had gotten so behind Morgan and Shelby, as they were kind of like the underdogs at this point. And I also think having 2 versus 1 was really bad for the voting.
And it's so funny to me that, like, at Final 5, Shelby leaves on Morgan's HOH, not because, like, what usually happens where, like, the person on that side that's off the block wins the veto and saves them and forces them up. No, remember, the care packages are still going at Final 5, and they just say, all right, Jason, if you complete this really, really easy challenge, you're just safe for the week. So then Justin's just safe for the week, and Shelby gets fucked out of the game.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. I forgot about Danielle getting sniped at 6. Yeah, Morgan gets nominated. Danielle versus Jason. Jason has more missed as well. Danielle's a bigger comp there. Danielle goes home. But yeah, Shelby goes home on Morgan's HOH, which is funny. Also, you were saying Justin's the most popular person. No. He did, because he didn't receive any care package until now.
Because America knew what they were going to be and wanted him.
I guess so, yeah. But he was, I believe, the only one left eligible to get a care package this week, so he just got it.
America could plan them out ahead of time.
So, what the hell? So Shelby goes home, hooray, and now it's just Morgan left.
Yeah, and then Jason wins HOH, and he just gets to save someone, and the other 2 compete in a competition. If Justin wins that competition, he probably wins the game. But instead, Morgan wins the competition and then wins over Jason for some reason.
Yeah, so Morgan does her big one, wins the competition. Jason has to put them into a fucking fire-making comp instead of just getting to evict like in Big Brother. It just pisses me off. Like, this is such, like, a fuck shitty win for Morgan, and people after she won were like, like, she did so good. Like, this is the most ass-backwards stumble into a win ever. Morgan was the least likable, least notable on her side. She's perfectly nice, and she never had a clue what was going on this whole season. What she did do was be have bigger threats in her alliance than her and win, like, a 50-50 competition at the end and, like, get a free care package. But yeah, we get the final 3. Justin goes home. It's very sad. He was great at singing. We get Jason, Chrissy, and Morgan. It pretty much comes down to Jason and Morgan, but at this point, people hated Jason too much, and that's what his legacy has remained, because he was kind of an asshole, even though I loved it. And I'd love to see Jason back on another season after this. But yeah, Morgan wins. That's it. We have spent far too much time talking about PBOTT. Jesus Christ. One more
thing I want to talk about is that this was the first Big Brother season cast by Jesse instead of fucking Robin Cass. They let him take the reins here, and quite frankly, just except for the first 2 boring Southern old men boots, I think this cast was phenomenal.
It was.
Diversity-wise, incredible job. But I think casting the sisters just for funsies, like, why the fuck not? Like, Morgan was boring, but at least she was there with her sister. The entire Late Night Jamboree are all such characters that are so fun. And even, like, the Ball Smashers, like, Shelby is, like, one of the cuntiest women I've seen in my fucking life. She was a lot of... I really liked watching her when I saw the season. She also has an incredible theme song intro where she also just serves cunt. I don't know if you...
I've seen it.
Like, even, like, Scott, like, he's, like, Ronnie the Rad vibes. Like, to hate him.
Yeah.
I think Jesse did a fantastic job, and I think it should... And one more thing. I don't know if you're aware of this. Tyler from Big Brother 20 was, like, he was, like, the last person to be cut from Over the Top.
Wow. That's... He was, like, what kind of universe?
In the running.
Well, good thing he was cut, I guess. But... yeah, this is actually would be one of the best seasons of all time. It's just stuffed into the most fuck ass format of all time. Like this is like BB6 levels of Split House. Like this was good, but it's just such a fuck ass format and such a fuck ass winner or ending or whatever that people forget about it, and it's rightfully so. It was just a season meant to be watched live, and it had its and it had its downs, but it was something. Okay, we gotta move on, and we have to be quicker with these next ones. We're gonna have to skip weeks. We have 4 seasons to get through. It's been half an hour, and we have to do a ranking. Like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah, we can
Okay.
speed it up.
Speed runs.
Celebrity Big Brother 1 comes out of kind of nowhere to my memory.
Yep.
Where all of a sudden they're just like, all right, fuck it, winter season, boom. They drop the cast, and it's like, personally, as a, let's see, what year did this happen?
2018.
2018. So I am, let's see, 8 years ago. I'm like 15, 14, 16, somewhere around there. I forgot I turned 24. I'm 16-ish, 15, depending on. So I see this cast, and I say, the only person I know here is the guy from Big Time Rush.
Ah.
Which I didn't even watch Big Time Rush. I just knew him from the commercials. Everyone else, I don't know who the fuck these people are.
Okay.
I think is. Did you know anybody?
Yeah, I knew Ross because I'm gay and I watch Drag Race. I knew Omarosa. I feel like you didn't know Omarosa,
I was 15. I wasn't looking at politics.
but she was famous before politics. I knew her. Like, she was Apprentice. She was on The Apprentice, and I watched her season. And then it was a big deal that like the Apprentice person was in the White House at the time, so she was a huge character. I didn't realize I knew Shannon, and then when she was cast, I remembered her from that iconic scene in Scary Movie, which I'd watched a million times, where she gets her head chopped off and keeps talking.
Sure.
And then Ariadna, this was right when that happened.
Yeah, when she explained who she was, I was like, oh, okay, I know Ariadna.
Yeah, and I'd heard of Metaworld. I knew Metaworld Peace as well, because he was a meme already, and he became a bigger meme.
In the future, like, I'm more aware of Ross and Marissa, probably mostly from this, but like my brother did a lot of theater, so Marissa's kind of a
I didn't know her. I'd heard of Brandy. That was it.
Like Housewives, whatever. Mark McGrath, I know of more. My family was an American Idol family, and he would be a guest judge sometimes.
Yeah,
he's a guest judge in one of my family's favorite clips of all time from American Idol.
Oh, didn't know. Anyways, this season starts and the nation is shook. Like, we've never seen anything like this. And
right off the bat is HOH, and every single person in the house by the end of week 1, for some reason, is saying Shannon is the best Big Brother player in
all time.
History. Nobody can compare to Shannon Elizabeth in the realm of Big Brother.
One of the hottest starts anyone's ever gotten off to. And it wasn't all bad. There was a lot of people that liked her. She had a big alliance, but it was really hot. She won HOH and Veto and formed an all-girls alliance that lasted the entire season.
Anyways.
All-girls plus Ross. If I could give Player of the Season award, it's going to go to Ross. So,
correct.
Yeah.
But it's very funny. Week 1, they have like little party bags that they can open to overthrow the HOH for some reason. So they all do that. And then Keisha is HOH. And again, Keisha's with them. It's all the girls. And then by the end of the week, Keisha and Omarosa just piss people off enough to where they flip on them for no reason and evict Chuck, who wasn't even on their side too. It was just like, this is the opposite of what Omarosa wants, so we're doing it.
Correct.
And of course, famously, Meta World Peace goes into the diary room. Oh, fuck. I'm trying to remember the name of the girl. I always forget.
I don't know.
He says, someone, would you be my Valentine? I vote Chuck. Thanks, Meta. And famously, as we know, Meta wanted to vote for Chuck to stay. But as Omarosa and Keisha tell him, he voted for Chuck to go.
And they had no idea.
It's so funny.
So fucking funny.
Next week, wow. Hashtag the flipped house is still flipped. Ross and Marissa win HOH and Veto. Omarosa should be dead to rights here. However, as we know, Keisha is a new mother. And
not the breast milk.
She left behind a lot of milk for her baby. But as she was told, she got news from the outside world, her breast milk is depleting. So she needs to go back home and be with her. Why the fuck did she come on this show when she just had a baby? I couldn't fucking tell.
She didn't know her breast milk was depleting, and she made sure to say it on national television during her eviction speech, basically evict me over Omarosa because my babies can't be fed by a bottle or something. I don't know.
Yes. So of course, they evict her because it's Celebrity Big Brother and they're going to be nice to each other.
Mm-hmm.
And if I was in that house, I'm going to be the one vote to evict Omarosa. I don't give a fuck.
Mom, I'm glad Omarosa stayed because she gave beats.
She's so good. Ariadna wins the next HOH.
Mom.
For some reason, like, it's not a good move for Ross.
No.
But Ross says, Ariadna, you have to target Shannon. She's the best player in history. She will kill us all.
Yeah.
Shannon was extremely loyal to Ross, and she was also
a
giant shield for him. Arguably the one person Omarosa might target before Ross.
Yep.
But instead, Ross tells Ariadna to go target Shannon. And James wins the veto, but Mark McGrath goes up, and Shannon is evicted from the game.
And I love just talking about Celebrity Big Brother because it's like, oh yeah, James from Big Time Rush wins the veto, and then the girl from Scary Movie goes on the block, and Ross from Drag Race targets like
from the band in like the fucking whatever year. It's so funny.
So yeah, Shannon gets pushed.
They were all nominated by the person that Steve Harvey incorrectly crowned as Miss America or Miss Universe or whatever.
And Ariana was so sweet and pretty this season. I actually really liked her.
She just like sat there and was pretty and sweet and ate.
And then Omarosa. Oh, sorry, go.
I like specifically remember that her winning that HOH was like a golf competition with a giant golf club and golf ball for some reason. It sticks in my head.
Mm-hmm.
Omarosa wins HOH and wants to target Ross, but of course he wins the veto. For some reason, Brandy was nominated next to him. I couldn't tell you why. However, Omarosa, she got saved by someone wanting to quit. She can let somebody else quit. She just nominates Meta because he's like, I want to go home.
Fair enough.
And she like completely fucks over her game. However, something that we haven't been mentioning going in the short week to week, despite it kind of just being a pretty split house of like Ross running everything, there's also so many little back and forth. This is a season of duo for the most part.
Yeah.
Ross and Marissa are a duo. Omarosa is kind of by herself. Mark
and
James are a duo. But then Ross and Marissa make a side deal with James and Mark instead of Ariadna and Brandy, who are also a duo. But then James and Mark team up with Omarosa, and they kind of run shit. But then, like, it's like all the little pairs are with each other, but also not really, and it's genuinely like interesting shifting dynamics.
And I will, go.
We had a lot of like, I know there's celebrities kind of doing whatever. I think a lot of the people in the season are overall pretty decent Big Brother players who
I agree
doing, which I think is a lot of fun.
These people, we expected them to not care, and these people brought it. They were gaming 24/7. These were game bots. It was insane, and Ross played honestly like such a good game. People should talk about Ross's game more, actually. Now, people just don't talk about it, but like Ross played a brilliant game, which is so crazy because I watch him on Big Brother, the hilarious Ross Matthews. But yeah, at this point in time, the way it eventually shook out was eventually everyone kind of just got down to it being like everyone versus James and Mark, and then Omarosa's on an island.
Like Mark wins his HOH, targets Ariadna and Brandy. Ari wins the veto. Again, he's working with Ross and Marissa, but he's also working with Omarosa, and he knows if he puts her up that she's gone. So he puts up Marissa instead of anyone else.
Great move, Mark.
Brandy gets thrown out. And then Omarosa wins HOH, and I'm ranting. She targets Ross and Marissa, as she should.
Yes.
Absolutely correct move. Ross wins the veto. Okay, again, remember, Omarosa has 2 allies in the game. James, Mark. Mark just proved loyalty by nominating people from the other side. Ross and Marissa are nominated. Ariadna's right with them. So, of course, 3-3. Omarosa, HOH, Ross and Marissa. Ross can't be nominated. So, who goes up?
James,
for some fucking reason. Oh,
so the reason is, well, first of all, this Omarosa winning HOH, it got edits. It shook the world because she was just, everyone wanted her out next. They've been like, why have we not gotten this girl out yet? Like,
double eviction, so she has no time to fucking do anything.
And she has no time to do anything, right? Part of it is because Ariadna was actually a good player. Like, everyone really liked Ariadna, and Omarosa's obviously an emotional player. She didn't quite have the best pulse on the game the whole time. And she loved Ariadna. because most people did, and she didn't like James. I think she spewed some insults at him while he did it. She thought he was kind of a punk, I believe. So I think that's why she did it, and also because probably Ross was in her ear telling him to.
She hated Ross. She didn't trust anything Ross said.
Oh, you're right. She was pretty much Ross's only counterpart. Now that I think about it, like Ross's only opposition this whole season was Omarosa.
Yes, but it still pisses me off because I remember, like, spoiler alert, Omarosa leaves the next week. James is the one person who maybe would have gone home and because
bigger threat.
But it's like she takes him out, and I remember Omarosa saying something along the lines of, "I knew when I put up James that I would be next." Then why the fuck did you do it, dumbass? It's still makes me mad.
Didn't she win a wall comp?
I don't remember, but again, James was the only person that I knew ahead of time, so I was rooting for him, and I was so mad at that, especially because it is just genuinely a bad move.
Yeah.
But then, like, Ross is running the game, whatever. He wins HOH, takes out Omarosa. Shocker. Ross wants to go to the end with Mark because he's like, I can beat Mark. Ross loses to everyone because this is his brother. And they're mad that, even though they were all game bots, they were mad that he was game botting for some reason. Which I don't understand.
I don't either.
But Marissa wins HOH, and this is the stupid ass format where, for some reason, I think they just messed up the scheduling, or like I'm pretty sure an extra person got added to the cast last minute. So they were like, okay, final HOH evicts 2 people. So then Marissa just wins HOH and takes Ross, fully expecting to lose. She was too loyal to him. And then she wins largely because they're mad that Ross played the game, and like half of the jury kind of just didn't care about the winner. And Shannon was super pissed, and Omarosa was super pissed, and they were the 2 like outspoken ones.
Yep.
And they also just like wanted a woman to win. They were just like, this is a mom, so she can win.
And that was it. And Marissa, I will say, actually did play good too. She was overshadowed by Ross, who was the clear front runner, but Marissa played good too. Like, she was an active voice in that partnership. She had a good social game. People did really like her. So I get upset that Ross didn't win because he clearly played the best game. But I don't get upset at Marissa as a winner. She played a fine game throughout the season. She was active. She was a little, coattail riding, but there's been worse winners.
Yeah, I think all of the final 4 are pretty decent players.
Honestly,
Dare I say played the worst out of the 4, but like I think Ariadna's probably the second best player of the season.
I agree. I think Ariana's the second best player of the season as well, which is crazy.
Mark played a really scrappy underdog game and got where like he was Marissa won that HOH, but if Ross or Mark wins the final HOH, they take each other and he wins.
Yeah.
50% chance that the competition goes the right way and he's the winner of the season.
Yeah.
Even like when Omarosa does her random flip, it's on James instead of him.
Yeah.
Like even like Ross won final 5 HOH and didn't nominate him.
Mm-hmm.
So I think underrated season, underrated gameplay from most of the players. Like if they said we're doing Celebrity Big Brother All Stars and they just redid it with the same cast, I wouldn't be upset.
Me neither. Last thing I forgot to mention about the season, another super viral clip happens where Ross is talking to Omarosa and he's like, "What's it like in the Big Brother house, in the White House?" And she's like,
"It's not good.
It's bad. It's not good. It's bad." And he's like,
they just like kept putting clips of her talking about how he's just like on Twitter all the time. One more moment I forgot to talk about. During a veto, at some point they do Bollerina, and Omarosa has asthma, and after one of the rounds, she starts like having an asthma attack. And, again, I'm like 15. My younger sister's like 14, 13. She limps over to the wall and is like, medic. And me and my sister think this is the funniest shit we've ever seen in our lives, even though it's like someone having a medical emergency.
How dare you? How dare you?
Especially because we were too young to understand like good TV drama. So if there was just like a blatant villain, we hated them like we were supposed to, and like, but we didn't like love to hate them. We were just like, Omarosa's annoying. We don't like her. Like when we were watching Total Drama, we hated Heather because she was a villain, even though now she's like one of my favorite characters. So it's like at the time we were like, why is she like? First of all, what's taking the medic so long? But I don't know. It's a moment that I will always remember because me and my sister thought it was funny as fuck.
That is hilarious.
Like, why is Omarosa from The Apprentice in the White House doing Bollerina? Like, what are we fucking watching?
With that, we're gonna move on to Celebrity Brother 2, just because we have to speed this shit up.
Which
Um,
also another clusterfuck of another season where like there's a ton of game bots, except these people are all like instead of just like
Psycho,
they're all insane. Like these
psychotic.
people are so crazy.
This season's good. I only
And when I
the
say these people, I mean mostly Lolo and Tamar. But
oh yeah. Oh my god, Lola was insane. Um,
Lolo's psychotic.
and Ryan's going to do most of the talking for the next two seasons because I'm a lot shakier on them, especially three. This one I only watched in clips. But what I can talk about is this first week because I did watch this first week intently because it had the best twist of all time, where Anthony Scaramucci, the Mooch, was put into.
That's not even the twist I thought you were talking about. There's two really bad twists.
What's the other twist?
Well, first, obviously, talk about the Scaramucci.
Okay, so this has a season. This one I really don't recognize anyone from except Tamar and Ryan Lochte, the hottie on the block D. But Scaramucci was put into the game, and he was just introduced as a house guest. And to this day, there is a twist that I don't know if I believe it's a twist. They wanted to reheat Omarosa nachos, and basically, it was a crazy thing for the Mooch in the White House, this big Republican guy, to be in. It was like one of the biggest celebrities they ever had. The problem was everyone fucking hated him because he was on live feeds, living in there and just being annoying, and so he got pretty easily targeted and was going to be like unanimously evicted the first week, right? However, as he was on the block, he goes, "Hi guys, I tricked you. I'm a fake house guest, and I'm going to leave now." Which absolutely is the biggest crock of shit I've ever heard. He probably had it in his contract like that he can say that when he gets evicted to preserve his reputation because this man was what I just can't imagine the producer sitting there and be like, you know what, we need a twist where the Mooch goes in the game and then at the end of the first week he leaves. Because the other thing too is he was into it. Like he was trying to play. He was not. Yeah.
When he leaves, he introduced the Mooch's veto, and there was a second veto. So that means it was planned from the beginning. Remember?
I guess so. I guess so. But no, he was playing the game, so I just don't know. I don't believe it. Put on my tinfoil hat. All right, take it away, Ryan.
So the other bad twist is that they say, okay, this first HOH you're going to play in pairs, and Ryan Lochte and Jonathan Cupcake Wars are which
My two, kind of.
My family was also Food Network / baking, so I've seen plenty of Cupcake Wars.
I did too.
We loved Cupcake Wars, so I knew Jonathan.
I knew Jonathan too. I forgot. Also, Mean Girls. You've never seen Mean Girls?
I have now. Who was he? I just watched.
He's Aaron Samuels.
Oh my god, he is.
Yeah.
I watched that movie like a few weeks ago, and I didn't even recognize him.
He's unrecognizable now, but he was original straight heartthrob back in the day.
Okay. There's no way he's straight, right?
He's so gay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I did not know Tamar. I didn't know Ricky. I didn't know Lolo. I heard of Lindsay Lohan, so I vaguely knew Dina.
Mom.
I didn't know Candy. I didn't know Tom or Natalie or Kato. I don't think I knew Joey Lawrence at the time. However, in like 2020, 2021-ish, I was still with my ex, and she said, okay, Ryan, there's this show I watched growing up that's a celebrity diving competition where celebrities all dive. And like Drake Bell was there, and there was like an Olympic skier who just easily won every time because he can do 17 million flips. So he just like easily won. The show was called Splash, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Keisha Breast Milk was also, I'm pretty sure, there if I remember correctly. But Joey Lawrence is one of, there's like a host, and then there's like two other hosts that just like commentate after the dives. And like then there's like official diving judges that rank it. And Joey Lawrence is one of the like talkers who's like telling people the scores after. I'm like, wow, that sure was a dive. And me and my ex had a bit where after like the judges show their scores, the announcers need to say what it was. And I swear, instead of having like cue cards or something, I swear they're doing mental math because Joey Lawrence is like, and the total score is 22.
Yeah.
It always felt like he was like doing really slow, bad mental math when we thought that was really funny.
Yes.
But anyways, Jonathan Cupcake Wars and Ryan pair up in the HOH competition. and then they easily win. And then they say, okay, one of you is HOH, and the other one of you gets nominated for some reason.
Yep.
It sucks for you for winning that competition. Fuck you. So then Ryan wins that competition and wins HOH. And there's so much back and forth here. They make a little alliance with the Olympians and Tamar and Natalie Eva Marie. And originally he tells them, he's like, okay, I'm gonna nominate like Anthony and Dina. And they're like, okay. And then Jonathan talks to him 2 minutes before nominations and says, no, you can't put up Dina. I'm friends with her daughter. And then he says, okay, and then just blindsides his alliance and nominates Tom for some reason. Ricky Williams wins the veto, and noms stay the same. So Anthony will be leaving. But then the mooch stuff happens. And then with no time, I think he has like 30 minutes, Ryan has to name another replacement nominee. And then somehow Candy goes up. I don't remember why.
I don't either.
Kato then wins veto, who is Tom's closest ally. So then he needs to veto him. And then Joey Lawrence goes up, despite being like the only other person on Ryan's side.
Because
I don't know how Dina never went up.
Because she's friends with her daughter's friends with Jonathan, and Ryan and Jonathan stayed tight through this too.
Yeah, but then throughout all of this, Ryan and Jonathan are obviously a final two, and Lolo and Natalie Eva Marie do make a final two.
Yeah.
However, Lolo then decides that it's unacceptable for Ryan Lochte to have a final two with someone who's not another Olympian, despite her also doing that. So then, while Jonathan and Ryan are just like sitting at the table, she just walks up to the memory roll and she's like, "Oh, look at this stupid final two," and then walks away. And it's like, what the fuck is she doing? So then
she was on crack.
TLDR, they all get mad at Ryan and Jonathan. Jonathan never really did anything wrong. Ryan was like a little weird by nominating the wrong person, but he still was keeping the entire alliance safe throughout all of it. Like, this flipping off and fighting happened before, I think, like 2 of the nominations, and he still didn't nominate any of them. But then they all just vote out Jonathan, who was completely screwed by a twist that he shouldn't have even been nominated.
2 twists.
He,
and then next week, hang on, wait. I want to say my one thing. This is my interest after the first 2 weeks kind of faltered because I was rooting for Jonathan and Hot Ryan Lochte. And Jonathan got screwed by going up, and then he got screwed by Anthony leaving because Anthony would have left over him, and the week's still going as usual. So justice for Jonathan. He did overplay a lot, I will say, but justice for Jonathan. All right, continue.
And again, the reason that they started flipping is just because Lolo got mad that they had a final two when she also had a final two with somebody else.
All right. Anyways, next week.
During this week, her and Natalie are also in a room where they talk about how they need to name their final two before realizing that Tamar is laying in the bed right next to them. And then they're like, oh, we meant final three.
Whatever. Oh my god, I remember that. That was iconic. And Tamar was like, okay, yeah, final three. But I actually think, like, did that lead to them kind of protecting Tamar?
They were already in the alliance with
Yeah.
But then next week, Kato wins HOH, puts up Dina and Tamar for some reason. However, his plan from the beginning was to backdoor Ryan, which I personally think was a horrendous play because Ryan had no allies.
Right.
Kato was already like the next biggest target. Like they were working with Natalie and like Lolo and them, and Ricky is there, but whatever.
I think we fast forward this one.
Yeah.
You know, Ryan Lochte on the block D. He played bad. He goes home. Unan. Pretty much.
Joey Lawrence voted for Tamar.
Okay. Well, that's good.
Then wins the next HOH and continues the sweep of getting rid of the Joey, Jonathan, Ryan.
Yeah. And Joey was pissed, I remember, but he did nothing. No one really gave a shit about him. So, yeah, he goes home really easily, unanimously.
He did? No. He almost...
No?
He, like, genuinely almost flipped the vote, and then, like, last second they decided not to, and still...
Oh, shit.
However,
over Candy.
Not to mention is that Joey was originally going to be in the majority alliance, and someone like mentions the word alliance to like lead up to asking him to be in it, and he's
pissed.
"Oh, I hate the word alliance. I would never want to be in an alliance." And they were just like,
"Okay, bye."
So then, great gameplay, but yeah, by the end, he actually did almost flip the vote and stay, and it's mainly because of Tamar that it doesn't end up happening because she keeps Candy in.
That's very funny.
And then Tamar wins HOH and like targets Kato and Tom because why wouldn't you? And then Kato goes home because he had won one, like they had both won 2 competitions, but I guess he's seen as the bigger comp threat. And then Tom immediately wins HOH again. and he says, "My target is Ricky Williams. I hate Ricky Williams. Ricky Williams must die."
To be fair target. Ricky, I mean, easily. Ricky played the best this season. Like, yeah.
Correct, but
yeah.
So Natalie and Ricky go up, and then Tom, without telling anybody, just randomly decides, you know what? Actually, Natalie needs to go instead. I think because again, Candy and Tamar, despite being like friends in a final two, like they were on complete opposite sides. Candy was trying to convince Tamar to go after like the alliance last week, and she didn't.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Candy's really the one pushing like Natalie must go, Natalie must go.
So then I think it's like Natalie and Lolo must go, and for some reason, why are they choosing it? They was like Natalie and Lolo must go, but Lolo is like so over the top. She sucks. Natalie's the better player of the duo.
Natalie won like a comp or two. She was just like the more stable, better player.
Yeah, so they wanted to get rid of the duo. They targeted Natalie over them. Yeah.
And then Tom, without telling anybody, just vetoes Ricky and nominates Lolo. And he says, "Yeah, Lolo, this was just as like a pawn. Like you're not going home." And she's like, "You told me I would be safe and not go home. I fucking hate you, you stupid bitch."
Yeah.
And goes psychotic on him. And then she wins the next HOH. I think it's a double. She just obviously targets Candy and Tom because they're the two outliers. Tamar wins veto and does not save Candy.
Wait, why doesn't she target Ricky? What?
Ricky, Lolo, Tamar were the final three.
Even though she... Okay. Right. Okay.
So she targets Tom. He goes. Tamar tap dances him out of the house.
And Tamar, we haven't talked about Tamar much, but she has this interesting thing with Candy that's been this frenemy thing, and she's actually gone from like being kind of a joke at the start to integrating herself really well and actually having some pretty good reads, despite yelling at people all the time.
Because she's like insane, but then also she like has some good social work. My mom, as I said before, she fucking hates Big Brother. But she's too lazy to leave the room when we're watching it half the time. So she hates Tamar so much. She thinks Tamar is the most annoying person she's ever seen in her life. She hates like reality TV like drama.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, like Tamar runs out of that one haunted house competition, and she's like, "Oh my god, of course she would." Like,
it's just I'm not going to get into the specifics because I don't remember too much, but just you could watch Tamar read the phone book this season. She is so entertaining this whole time. Go watch a compilation or something, you know.
Again, at the time, I'm still like I'm rooting for like the game players, and I think like annoying people are annoying, and I think villains are villains.
Yep.
But in hindsight, Tamar's a joy to watch.
And actually, gameplay-wise, she is one of the better players of this season. She actually plays a pretty damn good game this season.
I think she's the second best player of the season.
She is absolutely the second best player of the season, for sure. Yeah.
But
all right, continue.
Ricky wins HOH after Tom leaves, which is kind of worst case scenario for Candy underdog. He does target Candy, which is probably still the right move.
Mm-hmm. Like, it's fine.
Never gonna take him to the end. It is a 1-1 tie. Lolo had won the veto. Nom stayed the same against Dina Lohan, the big threat. Mm-hmm. Candy gets evicted. And during this week, again, Ricky and Lolo had been working together from the beginning. Like, despite it being like Tamar, Natalie, Lolo, it was really more Ricky, Natalie, Lolo. After Natalie leaves, Ricky is her closest ally from Lolo's perspective. And they've never made an official final two. So during this week, Ricky says, "Hey, Lolo, want to make a final two?" And despite intending on taking Ricky to the end, she just doesn't commit for some reason. I still, to this day, have no idea why she didn't just say, "Yes, I will be a final two with you." But then Ricky was like, "Wow, that was weird. Hey, Tamar, want to be a final two?" And she was like, "Yes. All you need to do, Lolo." So then Ricky wins the final HOH, and because Lolo, like, you can hear in his speech, he's like, "Okay, I evict you, Dina, like, bye." And then Lolo, "I offered you a final two, you didn't want it, so also bye." And Tamar's like, and Lolo's like, and
I think, sorry,
Ricky would have lost to everyone, apparently.
Yeah, people were pissed at him for
he was just like boring. Like, a lot of people hated Tamar in the house, but they saw her online perception and was like, "I guess we'll vote for her because the fans love her." Like, the jury voted on what the fans wanted.
It was not. I would say it's not just that, but there's another factor to it. But Ricky was like Roth, but more boring, to where they were all pissed at him for like playing them the entire time, but like he was also just boring, so they didn't want it. And yeah, the celebrities get to go home and hear from the fans and see things, which makes a difference with jury voting. But yeah, with Tamar also the thing is they're celebrities, right? They're rich.
She needs the money more.
Tamar was pretty much the only one who was like broke and actually needed this money for whatever reason. She talked about it a bit. So even at the end, part of why Ricky took her too and why everyone voted her, where he was like, I don't need this money and I love Tamar. Let's just give her some money. And then the jury was like, let's just give her some money. Like, no one else needs this money. And so that was kind of part of it too.
To me, that he still would have also lost to Dina Lohan, who was the most nothing player in like.
Mom. But yeah, we get
voted with majority like every time.
Mother. Yeah. But we get our first black winner of Big Brother, Xavier found dead. Black female winner, wins unanimously. Only nominated. Wow. Yeah. All black final 2. First black winner. Tamar was only nominated 1 time, I believe. 2, because if you count the end. No votes to evict. Got all the votes to win, so perfect game, Tamar. Yes, 2 big comp wins. All right. Any other thoughts about 2?
Like, if this was normal Big Brother, like, Ross and Ricky are the 2 best players. However, Celebrity is a different format, and, like, they didn't play to the Celebrity format. Which
sure, yeah.
You will see as a trend.
Into 3!
This season, I still can, like, barely fucking talk about it. It makes
Get your trauma out, and hopefully fast, because I can't even look at this. Okay. All right.
So going into this cast, who do I know? I've heard of Todrick, as I think everyone in the Big Brother community has at this point, because he spent the past like 3 seasons letting the entire cast of every season just stay in his giant mansion for like a month after the season.
Yep.
I have heard of nobody else. I've heard of NSYNC, but I didn't know who Chris Kirkpatrick was.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've heard of more. You've probably heard of like what, Carson?
Yeah. So this season, you could tell the celebrities just got less and less. The only people I knew were Todrick, because from Drag Race he's on there a lot, and then he also used to have lots of songs and skits and YouTube videos and was very popular there. And Carson, because he's a Drag Race judge. So I just knew the gays. I had no idea who anybody else was in that entire house. So already you're like, eh.
And I was like, most people were very excited to see Todrick coming into the season because again, he had ingrained himself in the Big Brother community. He was a big fan. Like everyone was excited to see him. I was excited to see him.
Oh wow!
If only we knew.
If only we knew.
Week 1, Misha wins HOH.
A trend.
Wants to target Teddy, but pretty quickly, it actually is a pretty like down the middle split house. I don't know if you remember.
I do.
Like Todrick was on the like Carson side.
Yes, because Todrick and Carson had a Drag Race duo ship.
Yeah, it was like Todrick, Carson, Cynthia, Teddy. I think Mariah was kind of in there, and Shayna was in there, but she was like kind of middling. And then Todrick, after a few days, was just like, I pick Misha instead. I'm just gonna fully flip. I'm not even gonna put them to play the middle. Like Misha's my final 2. I'm riding with her. It's like cool, stand your ground and whatever. But Misha targets Carson and Mariah with an intent to like backdoor Teddy. Teddy's like the other one left in the HOH competition, and she's like, Misha want to make a deal, or like I think there's like 3 people left, and she like Misha makes a deal with one of them, but won't make a deal with Teddy for some reason.
Yeah.
So Mariah and Carson go up. Carson wins the veto. Teddy is successfully backdoored. She's on the block with Mariah. However, the Mon Juan twist.
The Mon Juan.
I don't know if you remember how this works. It's a safety chain. The person, like, someone starts the safety chain, and by the end of it, whoever doesn't have the Mon Juan goes on the block, not as a third nominee, but they replace one of the people on the block. So it all goes down, whatever. Eventually, Todd Bridges is nominated, and he says, okay, well, I'm going to replace Mariah because I know fucking the other girl is leaving.
Yeah.
Great. He probably would have stayed against whoever. But Teddy leaves by a vote of 5-3.
Yeah, and I felt bad for Teddy because I remember thinking she was pretty likable. I don't really know what she did wrong. She tried. She didn't play too awful. She just kind of got targeted just because.
Chris Kattan votes with the underdogs, which I didn't remember. But I remember like Carson and Cynthia are shocked that Shayna votes with the majority instead of voting with them. Playing the middle, my mother. Chris Kirkpatrick is also wanting to play the middle. He's more on the like Misha side of things. but he's like, whatever, I'll nom Chris Kattan and Mirai, like, easy fucking nominations. Shayna wins the veto, keeps things the same. Mirai
goes home.
She just, similar to James, kind of, which I meant to bring up, like, James was decently younger than a lot of the cast and just in the first season and didn't have a chance to gel. Mirai is way younger than everyone else here. She's like 22, 23 or something. And everyone else is in their like 50s and they don't know who the fuck she is. It wasn't a cast for her.
Yep.
So she got kind of pushed. And then you'll never believe it, Misha wins HOH again.
Yeah, and there was a point in the season where it's like, yes, Misha and Todrick dominate the season, but there was a large coalition against Misha and Todrick for pretty much the entire season. The problem was they just won fucking everything. Among other things. There were more to it too, but yeah.
Okay, so Misha wins the third HOH. Shockingly targets Carson and Cynthia on the other side. Shayna wins the veto, and Chris Kirkpatrick says, my eyes have been... Oh, also Chris Kattan quits at some point. Bye-bye.
Yeah. Yeah.
Chris Kirkpatrick says, okay, Shayna, I know you are my final two number one ally. However, Misha and Todrick must be stopped. They're the worst people in history. They must die. Shayna, I want you to take Carson off the block so that he can win the next HOH and you guys can seize power. And Carson's like, yeah, sounds good to me. And Shayna's like, you know what? Sure. Which, again, for some reason, they believed that Todd would be the replacement nominee or like Lamar or something. Obviously, Chris Kirkpatrick just goes up and gets evicted. And he will spend the rest of the season on Twitter saying he backdoored himself. I backdoored myself. Which I thought he was kind of funny.
Yeah.
I liked him. And the plan works out. Carson wins the HOH.
This is the worst week, maybe almost ever in Big Brother. I can't, I'm getting nauseous.
No, it makes me so mad.
I can't do this week.
As we remember, Carson and Todrick have their Drag Race connection. Despite Todrick having flipped and targeted them multiple times, Todrick says, hey, Carson, Shayna said that she's actually with us. Do you have any proof? No. Just veto you? Yes.
Yeah, just vetoed him the week before. Shayna was most loyal to Carson of everybody else.
However, she's actually not with you, I've decided. And Carson says,
Okay.
Which, granted, I will say this. Shayna does a very bad job of deflecting all of this. She's just kind of like, yeah, I was kind of playing the middle, but I'm with you guys. I don't know why she didn't just say, Carson, you're being stupid. They've nominated you 18 times.
Yeah.
I just won a veto and saved you. I am with you. I just got rid of my own closest ally to help you.
I can't. She vetoed him. Like, what?
Carson, even before initial nominees, has already decided that she will be backdoored. It's the final 7, so one person does not play in veto. Misha and Todd go up. Not even Misha and Todrick, because he won't nominate Todrick. It comes back from a commercial break where veto player picking happened off screen, and Julie says everyone is playing in the veto except
Shanna. Who is, by the way, she is at this point, it has just become a steamroll, and it's just like Shayna's like one of the only likable underdogs left. She's the only one left because it's Misha, Todd, and people not playing.
Everyone is like Team Carson, Cynthia, Shayna. Team Carson, Cynthia, Shayna. Please, because I didn't really mention this. Todrick throughout this, people don't.
It's nasty. He's being.
I don't even remember all of the shit he was saying.
It
was so bad. He was saying the most vile, gross things about people. Like Chris Kirkpatrick on his way out, Todrick spent the entire time shaming him and saying he was a bad dad or something.
Yeah.
And Chris Kirkpatrick was he's right. I'm awful. I suck. It's he talked about how he didn't pay his backup dancers or something. They were all slut shaming.
Yeah.
It was all so gross and personal and weird.
And he was also really good friends with all of them, and while saying all this nasty shit. And Misha as well was saying nasty shit. It was the two of them would just rattle off saying the nastiest shit to each other. Yeah. However, Todrick was more egregious.
And Todd as well was saying, especially against Shayna, he fucking hated Shayna.
Yeah.
Which he comes out of the house and gets on Twitter and says, yeah, my bad, guys. I suck. I will be better. He took accountability.
Good.
But the best part is every single person coming out of the house saying, yeah, I'm still rooting for Todrick. He played me. Good job.
And then they went home and...
Twitter, and within 20 minutes, they're like, Todrick should fucking kill himself. We're not voting for his ass. And everyone's like, yeah.
So,
fair. So much of the time, I'm like, vote for whoever deserves to win. I've never been happier to see someone lose in my fucking life than
Yes.
lost near unanimously. And the
Yeah.
on his face when people are talking to him about it, like jury questioning and whatever.
Because I believe he also thought that he was going to be like super popular this season.
Yeah.
Like you could tell he thought he was just chewing, which he kind of was. And there's a part of me that feels bad for him because if this was regular Big Brother, he probably wins. But there comes a point.
Like he wins in like a Jackson Mickey way, where everyone's like, yeah, he was kind of like weird and gross, but like we got to give it to him, I guess.
That's what they. I mean, that's what Misha did to win.
But anyways,
yeah.
So Carson backdoors Shayna. I want to kill myself.
His only ally left.
And then
pretty
Todd,
much.
Wins HOH, and Todd has always been on the side of Misha and Todrick for some reason. And he makes his nominations. He does Carson and Lamar.
Oh, Lamar's here. I knew Lamar before the season. I forgot to say Lamar. He's famous.
Lamar is the biggest non-entity I've ever seen in my fucking life. Like Dino was doing more than him.
Yeah.
I do remember him being the whole time kind of like, Todd, shouldn't we be siding with like Carson and Cynthia and not Todrick? And Todd's like, no. And then after Misha wins the veto, Todd's like, oh, you know what? I should have been going after Misha and Todrick. But it's too late for that now. So sorry, Carson, you're just getting evicted. So Carson gets evicted. And then Todrick wins HOH. And
by the way, sorry. Todd, he gets evicted by one vote with Todrick voting off Carson. Just want to note that.
Todrick was the swing after doing all this shit the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
I also want to point out again, the only time Misha did not, like, Misha won HOH week 1. She did not win anything week 2. She won HOH week 3. Todrick won veto week 4 to save her. She won veto week 5. Todrick won HOH week 6. Misha wins both, and then Misha wins HOH.
Yeah, like, it's just...
Because they're like a professional athlete in a house with all of these random, like, fucking people who are, like, old and don't, like,
correct.
Old, but, like...
Yes,
like,
old.
And there's a lot of... This is still in the physical competition era of the show.
Yeah.
So Todrick wins HOH. He does his whole Big Brother 11 Natalie spiel where he comes down in a crown and a cape and acts like he's the best person to ever walk the just to nominate fucking Todd and Lamar. What a big move.
Yeah.
Todd wins the veto to save himself, and then
Cynthia goes up, of course.
And it's a tie. He saves her, whatever. And Cynthia at this point is still like loyal to Todrick for some reason. She's like, I'm going to the...
She is. It's horrid.
Like, I don't understand. Misha wins HOH. Todd goes home. What a surprise. He gets on Twitter, says, my bad. And then Misha wins HOH and takes Todrick. Also, I'm pretty sure expecting to lose.
Yep.
But hashtag loyalty. And she would have got destroyed by Cynthia anyways.
She would have got destroyed by anybody else.
I was still annoyed by Cynthia. I was like, the Carson, Cynthia, Shayna week was the most annoying week I've ever seen in my fucking life. Like, I was like, after that happened, I was like, you know what? I'm still not rooting for Misha and Todrick, but if Carson wins this season, I will kill myself. I hated Carson more than I hated them just for doing that.
There was nobody left to root for by the end. But like, even with that, everyone was still just anyone but Misha and Todrick. But yeah, it's the final thing.
I will say, another thing that pisses me off, you know the Meridian review, the guy that makes all the fucking Big Brother rankings? In his Celebrity Big Brother player rankings, he put Carson above Shayna.
Yeah, no. Carson...
He was like, yeah, Carson like made a bad move, but like on paper, he would do well in most celebrity seasons because people just like him and he'd always win a jury vote. And it's like, he made the worst move I've ever seen in my fucking life, and I hope...
Yeah.
It still makes me so mad. So Misha wins over Todrick, whatever, boo-hoo. Todrick gets Cynthia's vote because she didn't have time to get on Twitter before she voted. Everyone else votes against him, and he's shocked. Reportedly, I remember seeing, like, behind-the-scenes stuff from, like, spoiler accounts that were, like, production was asking people if they would be willing to do a Celebrity Big Brother All-Stars, and right after Todrick lost, like, he's still mad and, like, sulking and doesn't know what happened, and a production member walks up to him and was like, so would you do a Celebrity Big Brother All-Stars? I don't know if that's true, but the thought of that to me is really funny because I know Todrick was, like, malding. It's probably not true, but in my headcanon, it did happen, and I think that's very funny. This is widely regarded as one of, if not the single worst, like, regular Big Brother seasons and spinoffs combined. Like, we're not sugarcoating it. This season's at the bottom of the list.
Hurts.
This season is like it's doom
I
and
think
gloom.
it ended. I think it ended Celebrity Big Brother.
Correct. Like it started out all right, and then just like the second they take control, and this especially the Shayna week, like
The Shayna week is just
like Chris backdooring himself. I was like, okay, you know what? The season has some legs. When Carson won HOH, I was like, oh my fucking god,
we're in. We're back.
and then like within like I wake up the next morning and check live feed updates, and it's like, yeah, he's backdooring Shayna. I was like, you have got to be fucking kidding me. And
All
then
right.
the rest of the season is just a slow fucking March steamroll to the end, and it's so bad. I hate that season so much.
Let's really quick now do our last season reindeer games, and we can hopefully get this done fast. Unless any other thoughts, I'm just trying to rush.
I hope Todrick and Carson explode.
Perfect. Amazing. Okay. Anyways, reindeer games was like the funniest shit of all time when it was announced. This is the last one because everyone's like, "What the fuck is this? Why is there a Christmas Big Brother? This is going to be terrible. This is going to be garbage. What are we doing? Are they just going to sing songs?" Then all the reindeer games contestants got on Twitter and they were like,
"This season is amazing.
I'm actually like deeply traumatized. I've never experienced anything like this." And we were like,
okay. Like Nicole Franz will post like an Instagram picture and her legs are like bruised to fucking shit.
Yeah, we didn't know what to expect, but we were sad.
When it got announced, it was like, me personally, I don't give a fuck about the competitions. Like when I watch like the traders, I usually skip the comps. When I watch Survivor, half the time I'm like on my phone during the comps. I don't care. I've never watched the challenge. They said this is a challenge-based format. I'm like, I fucking guess I'll watch it just to see like the contestants I already know do something else. But, like I'm not happy about it. Bryce, I'm pretty sure when it was announced was like, I'm not even gonna bother watching it. Like, and then all the house guests get on Twitter and like, first of all, the cast gets announced and it's like, all right, like they got.
It's a good cast.
Like they have a lot of winners. They have Danielle and like Brittany, who are iconic. They have Frankie, who's like kind of who cares, but like competition based. That makes sense. And then Cameron. And then they have Cameron, who like whatever. Like I still remember. Do you remember when Cameron was still in the house and he just came out of the diary room one time and he was super happy and they were like, "Why are you so happy?" And he's like, he pretty much just was like, "Yeah, production said they'd have more in store for me." Like his spot was locked on the cast before he was from the fucking. And
so we were also coming out of this after BB25 depression.
Oh and my God, that season was so bad.
Yeah, and we were coming out hating Cameron. So the fact that he's on the cast, I was like, this is a good cast. But the fact that Cameron's here, I want to kill myself.
Yeah.
But luckily, everyone else wanted to kill themselves around him too, and actually like did what people should do, where they were like pretty instantly, just as what happened on his season. They were like, "We all hate you. Go home."
But then,
and then he did.
There's also the announcement of the 3 elf ambassadors. Jordan, Lloyd, Tiffany, and Derek. People were like, why the fuck is Derek like a helper instead of like on the competition-based show? Like, whatever. It's so funny because Derek, like, he went on Rob Has a Podcast to talk about one of the episodes after it aired, and he said, he was like, yeah, I got the call and they were like, do you want to do this? And I was like, yeah, cool, sounds good. And it took like multiple phone calls or him like getting there in person for him to realize that he wasn't going to be like a contestant and he was just helping out. Like they didn't make it clear. But
that
apparently,
sucks.
Like all the elf ambassadors were just like standing there. Okay, here's the rules of the comp, and they would just like stand there in silence. Derek said that he was doing like Jeff Probst's like commentary over all the competitions, and the producers just like kept cutting it out and telling him to stop. But he was like having fun and doing bits, which I really like doing on the show because it's really funny.
Yeah, I would bet Cameron replaced him.
Probably.
Okay, let's get into it. I don't even remember the format. How the hell is the bottom 2 decided?
Okay, well, it's not always a bottom 2. So what happens is there's an initial challenge, of course, called the Naughty and Nice Challenge, where they go do something and whoever wins gets an advantage.
Mm-hmm.
Brittany thinks the advantage will be safety. However, her advantage sucks dick, and it's you get to give one person a disadvantage. And she's like, okay, so I'm going to kill myself.
Yeah.
And then the rules for the bottom changes every time, but for the first one, it's just the winner of the next competition gets to nominate the 2.
Mm-hmm.
If Frankie wins the competition, it's like a letter competition. You go back and forth on a balance beam and take letters out of a mailbox and put it in another mailbox.
Right.
Whoever's mailbox gets like whoever can fill up their own mailbox wins, but then other people can keep taking them out.
Yep.
So everybody immediately just stacks the fuck out of Cameron's because they don't like him. And Frankie's playing the good balance. Like, he has a BB16 alliance. He's kind of with the girls, so nobody really targets him, and he wins pretty easily.
Yep.
He decides pretty quickly. He's like, I could save Cameron because he doesn't have anyone, but I don't like him, so I'm not going to. And then Xavier's like a big threat that I don't really have a connection with, so I'll put Xavier. And then, thank God, Xavier beats Cameron in the competition. Good riddance, bye-bye.
Amazing, we're in. Okay.
And during this, at one point, also, like, it's Nicole and Cody reuniting after Big Brother 22. It's the start of Danielle and Brittany, like, their friends, the time laser thing. This will be the beginning of a long fucking saga.
Yeah.
But at some point during the balance beam competition, like, Cody falls off and hits himself, and Nicole, like, laughs. And at one point, like, Cody puts a letter in Nicole's mailbox, and she's like, I see what you're doing,
Cody!
And
that's a funny confessional.
DR and was, like, making fun of her and was like, I see what you're doing, Cody! Which is, like, the most personality we've ever gotten from either of them. No, I'm lying. I'm a Nicole Franzel apologist, but
fair enough.
So that's the end of episode 1, and we're like, okay, this is, like, all right. Like, the competitions were balanced. Brittany won the first one. The second one was, like, a social competition.
Mm-hmm.
And then Xavier really likes puzzles.
Yep.
Episode 2, Cody wins the first competition and gets to give someone a disadvantage. And it's like, okay, well, obviously, like, Brittany just gave him one. He can give it to Brittany, but instead he gives it to Taylor. I don't remember what. I think they just, like, never jived.
Yeah, they never jived, and I think Taylor Taylor kind of ran the game a lot and ran kind of the other side. Yeah. Like, Cody was in minority, and Taylor was kind of one of the heads of the other side to Cody. It was a lot. It wasn't kind of just everyone versus, like, Cody and Frankie. And they like
also had Nicole, and then Cody was trying to do, like, a guy's thing.
Yeah, and there was a girls thing as well. So Nicole was positioned right between, like.
But then there was also the, like, minority alliance of Danielle, Josh,
and Taylor. Yeah.
And then Xavier was I think Xavier was
in there. He was in that too. So there was, like, minority alliance.
Alliance,
BB16 alliance, men alliance, women alliance,
and then Frankie's also kind of with the women, like,
ish.
Cody's advantage was not only giving Taylor a disadvantage, but also the next competition will be in teams, actually.
Yep.
And Cody just gets to pick his team.
Yep.
So he says, "Okay, give me Frankie and Xavier."
Right.
But then he's like, I don't know what happens if I lose, so, like, I'll pick Nicole because I can beat her in a comp if worse comes to worse, if we all
yes.
up against each other.
Right.
But then also, like, Nicole's still decent, like, it's a good help, and then it's not just, like, all men. So we're like, okay, it's Sojover, he's picking his boring male Steamroll alliance, whatever. And especially with Taylor has a disadvantage. The disadvantage, this is a stacking competition, it's balance.
It's the balance on the tree, yeah.
Taylor does her little punishment thing in, like, 2 seconds because it didn't matter. And they not only pull ahead quickly, they dominate this competition. The underdogs, the Taylor, Brittany, Danielle, Josh, they destroy this competition. And then the editing goes fucking crazy. They're all celebrating. Taylor's rolling around, throwing.
She does that. It's a famous gif. If you ever see a Taylor gif, it's the one where she does the somersault and goes, "Wah," and that's after winning this underdog comp.
It's so, like, everyone's like, this is, like, especially because, again, coming into the season, let's be real, everyone's rooting for Taylor, Brittany, and Danielle.
Yeah.
Like, it's Danielle Reyes back on our screen. Brittany's always
and this was pre-Trader, so people didn't, like, hate her.
Yes. It's Taylor, like, one of the most recent iconic winners. Like, we get to see her not be hated for no reason right off the bat and, like, actually play the game. And they're all, like, giving everything in the episodes. And it's them against, like, let's be real, who's a big Cody or Xavier Prather fan? Like, these are two of the most boring people we've ever seen in our lives. Like, everyone hated Frankie. I'm kind of a Frankie apologist. I think he was entertaining, but, like, nobody actually liked him on BB16 to my memory.
Come to like him after 16. Like, I liked him this season, but on 16, he was insufferable.
And then the other person on this team was Nicole Franzel after Big Brother 22, so everyone also hates her.
Yeah.
So this was a wonderful underdog come from behind victory.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Brittany, Danielle, Josh, Taylor get to pick someone to be safe.
And they save Nicole.
They save, but Xavier's like, well, I'm in an alliance with them, so they're going to save me. And then they just don't, which is really funny.
Yeah, so they prioritized the girls' alliance, and they knew that they wanted one of the big guys to go home, you know.
So this is like
and Nicole's whole time. This too. Side note was like, everyone says I can't work with the girls. I'm gonna prove I can work with girls. I'm gonna work with the women. And even though she's with the guys, she actually kind of follows through on that.
But then the next competition is like a little like there's like descriptors of little gifts they need to go get, and they all run around and grab it. But they can like see what each other are grabbing. So then Frankie just like copies off Xavier and gets it before Cody. And oh no, Cody Calafiore is out. What a shame.
Yeah.
Next episode, Taylor wins the initial thing, and Josh volunteers to get a punishment. One thing about this season, everyone in this season fucking loves Taylor. They are all fucking Taylor's dick and doing whatever she wants.
Yes.
Nicole then wins the next competition, and this is the start of the hamster wheel of death.
Remember when hearing that made us excited with memories instead of deeply traumatized?
Everyone was hyping up preseason. Which, first of all, before I get into the hamster wheel, I want to point out these are the competition winners so far: Brittany, Frankie, Cody, Taylor, Nicole. 5 different winners.
So balanced.
3 of them are women.
This is when they after BB25 they stepped up for reindeer games and actually balanced the competitions, and it was so wonderful.
Xavier won the 2 eliminations, and Frankie stayed safe in the eliminations, but those were also against other big guys. So it's like that's not big guys beating like women who suck. It's like big guys beating other big guys.
So yeah.
And then again, the other competition was the one that Brittany, Danielle, Josh, and Taylor won as a team. So like, So Nicole starts the hamster wheel of death, and it's like, what do? A lot of the women are scared to go. They're like, we don't know how this is gonna go. We don't really want to volunteer. And Frankie's like, I'll do it. Pick me up. Nicole's like, cool. Yep, sounds good. Frankie wants Xavier out, but his teammates are still kind of too scared to volunteer. At this point, Frankie, Brittany, and Nicole also have a little 3. They're like, whatever, we're not doing it. And for some reason, Frankie sends in Xavier, even though he wants Xavier to go. But he also is kind of like Xavier. If he stays, like then he's a shield. So it's like
kind of it's win-win. Like he could go home here, or it could be a shield. Easy.
Yes. So Nicole's safe, Frankie's safe, Xavier's safe. Xavier has his alliance with Danielle, Taylor, and Josh. So there's really only one other option. He picks Brittany.
And Brittany
sobbing because Frankie completed the comp like fast as fuck. Xavier did bad.
He barely made it.
30 seconds left. So he goes in the house and tells everyone, whoever I pick, they're going home. They're going home. Like no shot. They're not staying. So Brittany's like freaking the fuck out, and then she does it faster than anyone else. She has like a minute and a half left or something.
And this is historic. And this is like everyone thinks Brittany's done. Brittany thinks Brittany's done. She sobs at the end. Like we couldn't believe it. Everyone's rooting for Brittany. She's been a DR queen as always. And then she starts the saga of her fucking over Danielle Reyes for no reason.
First, she like breaks down crying, and she's like, "I hate all of them. I don't even want to go back in there. They all suck." And Derek X is like, but then she goes back in, and she's faced with a dilemma. She could pick Josh, who, to my knowledge, she doesn't really have any connection with at all. She could pick Taylor, who's volunteering
to go in to save Danielle. Or she could pick her closest ally, Danielle.
Do it, but then there's Danielle, who has been Brittany's #1 ally all season. However, Xavier, Brittany had already been getting wary of Danielle because Danielle kept talking to Xavier and Brittany like kept catching them. And then Xavier comes in and said, which Taylor said originally in like an interview, she was like, people were starting to put me and Xavier together, so I started backing off so he would spend more time with Danielle so they'd get pinned together. So Taylor was planning this shit. But then Xavier comes in the room and says, hey, Brittany, I know I just tried to eliminate you, but can you not send in Danielle? She's not like my closest ally. Incredible gameplay from Xavier. Also remember in like the first episode, they were talking about like Brittany was talking to someone and Xavier was brought up. And she was like, yeah, he like doesn't do anything. I don't know why he's here. And someone's like, he won. And she was like, he won?
I remember that. He's so boring. Yeah.
So anyways, Xavier says to save Danielle, which puts the nail in Danielle's coffin. Brittany puts in Danielle, and she loses by like 5 seconds. Like, we thought it would be like not even close. It was like right there. Like she couldn't get the wheel moving at first, and then once she got the hang of it, like she was right there and she fucking lost.
It's so strange because I don't think of Brittany as a particularly cutthroat person, except for when it comes to Danielle, in which case she is the most ruthless player in the entire universe. It's just both on this and Traders. Like that's her number one the whole season, and she fucks her over for no reason to like no strategic benefit. And also Danielle sucks at the competition. So why are you getting rid of Danielle when she sucks at the competitions when this is a competition based show? And at this point, everyone's just devastated, but it's also a fun time. And Taylor was kind of the other option because she was volunteering. Again, I don't know why she wasn't just putting in Josh. So yeah.
And during this, like, there's little gifts under a tree, and whenever you come back in from the hamster wheel, you can open a gift. And people are getting like fruitcakes or whatever, and Danielle gets like $5,000. So good.
All right, good for her. Okay, next round.
Next episode, we finally get a repeat solo comp winner where Frankie wins. Let's see what happens here. It says naughty list recipients Nicole and Xavier. Oh yeah, they have to split up into pairs. Or no, what even happened?
I have no idea, girl, and that's okay.
Let me try to go read what happens in episode 4. Talk for a second. Talk about.
Okay, Frankie gives something bad to Nicole and Xavier. Why? I don't know. But anyways, Frankie and Taylor, it's a duo challenge. Yeah, Frankie and Taylor duo up.
I went to look at the episodes to see specifics, and this is. Can it focus, please? Is it flipped? Can you read it?
They have nothing. So no one knows. If anyone knows why the fuck, what Frankie won and what he gave to Nicole and Xavier, let me fucking know.
I know he gets to pick his team, and
I think he gives one of the duos. Nicole and Xavier are a duo, and he gives them a disadvantage over all the other duos. But like, why? I don't know.
Okay, yes. They pair up, and Frankie wants to be with Taylor because he's like, I think she's strong enough, but also if we have to face off 1-on-1, then that happens.
Yeah.
And then there's Josh and Nicole, and there's Brittany and Nicole. There's Josh and Xavier and Brittany and Nicole, and they like are.
No, Josh and Nicole, isn't it?
Well, just these.
Oh, you're right.
Like Xavier and Josh are like, we are not partnering up with each other.
Right.
But then they're like going back and forth. So then it ends up they split up. Nicole's with Xavier and Josh is with Brittany.
Right.
Nicole and Xavier have a disadvantage at some point, which is during the competition. At any point, they're like putting together like a big puzzle. At any point, Frankie and Taylor can just pause Nicole and Xavier. They need to be in the middle of the competition for like a minute.
Right.
So Frankie and Nicole or Frankie and Taylor are already doing well, but then Nicole and Xavier are like kind of catching up. So they're like, okay, fucking stop. And then Frankie and Taylor immediately like easily win.
Yeah.
It is then decided that one person from each of the other teams will be going in,
and
that Frankie and Taylor each pick one. Like it's pretty easy. Like Frankie's like, okay, well, obviously we just send in Josh and Xavier, easy.
Yeah.
So but then they need to pick randomly. It's drawn out of a fucking bag which one picks which.
Yeah.
If
Nicole gets burgled.
Like if it is picked in the other way, like Taylor would send in Josh over Brittany, no problem.
Mm-hmm.
However, Xavier is extremely loyal to Taylor and also a big shield, like easy target in front of her. So it is drawn that Frankie will pick between Josh and Brittany, and he easily just sends in Josh.
Mm-hmm.
And then Taylor, it's between Nicole and Xavier. She blindsides everyone. She sends in Nicole, and they're all like, "What the fuck?" I've gone back and forth on if I think that's a good move or not. I think she was kind of in a rough scenario either way. I think it's perfectly fine. A lot of people were like, "That's the worst move I've ever seen in my life." I think.
Well, Nicole won anyway, so.
I was gonna say, and then it's an endurance challenge. They just hold on to a big fucking.
This challenge is crazy. This is one of the best challenges this season because Josh has been on the challenge. And everyone's like, well, Josh is going to clear Nicole because people love to underestimate Nicole and her comp abilities.
And Nicole's like a mom now who's like...
Yeah, she's a little chubby, you know. And I could talk about Nicole and how she's kind of she's just the perfect threat level of human, where it's like just perfectly not too much, not too little, but she's very capable, especially at endurance. And this competition lasts for hours. Like they hold on this thing and they last hours and hours, and then somehow they both fall within the same like 2 seconds.
Because it started like speeding up more.
Yeah.
And then they both fall, and it's like photo finish. Josh barely hits the ground first.
Yeah.
It's iconic.
It's crazy. No one expected that. She did wonderful. Congrats to Nicole.
Nicole then wins the next thing, obviously gives a disadvantage to Xavier because why wouldn't you? It now says Taylor and Frankie win the Jingle Bell Brawl. I think this was like a food challenge where there was like a mix of food and they needed to say what it was.
Sure.
And then Taylor and
They say
Frankie,
Nicole? Oh
what?
no. Sorry. They say Nicole here.
It was it was a food challenge first, and then Taylor won that. And then there was another competition that Frankie won, and he was just safe. But Taylor for winning the first one, or no. Before that, before Frankie's challenge, Taylor won the food challenge, and then she got to pick one person to also move on, and she was just deciding between Brittany and Nicole. And people started giving her shit for picking Nicole after the end of the season, but it's like Brittany and Nicole are so like hit or miss. Like they're both good at similar things. Like they're a similar build. I think this was a fucking toss up, and I
Yeah.
don't really like. But also good on Nicole for making sure it was her. It was
Because
also
realistically, Nicole had just beaten Josh in that, so she should have been a bigger threat. But Brittany had been doing well too, so whatever.
Brittany had, I think, one more, but then
Mm-hmm.
also Taylor wanted to make it up to
Oh, to Nicole.
Nicole from sending her in last time,
Yeah.
and then Frankie wins the next challenge, so he's just safe. So then it's a 1v1 between Brittany and Xavier, and this is so unfortunate because it's like the most physical challenge of the fucking season.
Yeah.
It's the same. For those who haven't seen reindeer games, it's essentially the same as the
Vince and Ashley.
to HOH where Vince had a fucking meltdown and started talking about how he's a loser and how Ashley doesn't deserve to be there and whatever. It's that HOH where they like go on the zip line and swing back and forth and knock shit over. I don't remember if there was a puzzle to solve at the end.
There was a puzzle to solve where you just get the pieces you knock to come into a puzzle.
Okay.
And what I recall is Brittany was actually so behind in the knocking things over, and she actually almost made like a monumental comeback,
Yeah,
but
because
she was just a
Xavier's
little too far behind.
But Xavier's way taller and his legs are longer, so he can just reach the pieces that
Yeah.
are a lot easier. And it's so unfortunate. And then it goes into the last episode
Yeah.
where whoever wins the first competition, again, this is going to be played in rounds,
Mhm.
one-on-one. Then the winner of those face off in
Yep.
the finale. Xavier wins the first competition, and he gets to pick who he goes up against. And he says, "Well, I don't want to go up against Frankie now.
So
I'll go up against Nicole. Good luck, Taylor."
and everyone's pretty much at this time saying, well, Frankie versus Nicole, Xavier versus Taylor, like, we're going to get a Xavier and Frankie final two. Like, how boring.
And then the first competition, which I do think this is weird. The two semifinals matches are completely different competitions.
Yeah, I don't care. Whatever. I don't want to run the same thing twice. Like, whatever.
Yeah, but it's like then it makes the order matter so much because I think if Nicole and Xavier face off in the other challenge,
It's just, I get, they're both, yeah, probably. Whatever.
Xavier and Nicole need to go off and like there's a big board, there's a few little gears.
Slingshot.
You need to get that's what.
Oh, the gear one. Yeah.
So then they need to put other gears on there. Xavier starts putting gears in the middle for some reason, so we know he's
idiot. Yep.
Nicole starts at the end, so you can see where you're putting the other gears, and easily like fucking does it.
Yep.
He destroys Xavier. It's not even close. Frankie and Taylor have like the easiest competition I've ever seen in my life, where they just like need to slingshot like 3 things down, and essentially like they both just take 3 shots, except Frankie misses one of his, so then Taylor wins.
Yep.
It was like extremely easy, and Frankie just like missed one time.
They got upset, and we get this really cunty, hilarious final two, and people are finally like, I guess I don't hate Nicole anymore. Like, this is fun.
Yeah, Nicole's been fun throughout the season. It's kind of hard to remember all the DRs from this far, but like Nicole was a lot of like.
She was the main character.
Fun. Frankie was more fun. Xavier was still boring. Even like Josh was more fun. Like everyone
was more fun.
Was fun.
And I will say, like, Taylor and Nicole played 2 of the best games. Like, they were both really in the middle throughout a lot of it and had very interesting journeys. And they were both very underestimated in competitions. So for them to make it was awesome. But, of course, everyone was rooting for Taylor still for the most part because she ran the season and people didn't expect her to get there. But
the this was a pre-edited show, and like the 2 people with the seemingly like winner edits were Frankie and Nicole. So like if you were paying enough attention to the edit, like you could easily guess that Nicole was.
I didn't know. I had no idea.
I had clocked that it was going to be Nicole from the edit.
I had no clue. I thought Taylor was. I don't know. Anyways, this final comp. This final comp is drama.
Parts. At one point, Nicole is kind of fucked because there's just like something up top that she like isn't tall enough to reach. She's like, trying to do it. I don't remember exact specifics, but Taylor gets a pretty big lead, and it's like stacking snowflakes. And there's like 4 different sets you need to.
So yeah. What happens is Yeah, Taylor gets a huge lead, but in the entire first three parts of the competition. But then the part four is that thing like where Cam stacked the ice cream cone upside down, where it's like where it's just balanced these things in three different layers, and if it falls, you have to like start over. And this shit is hard and takes forever, so it basically becomes like the top three parts just kind of don't matter. Good luck in part, yeah, in the last part. I mean.
Taylor, like Nicole finally catches up in when Taylor's struggling on the third part, but then there's a fourth bag. So then it's like, okay, how hard is the fourth bag gonna be? And the fourth bag is like three little pieces. It's like easy as fuck. So you're like, okay, Taylor can still make a comeback from Nicole's comeback, but then Nicole opens the last bag and yeah, it's like six pieces and she just easily stacks them and wins. And it's like still kind of iconic. Like I don't care. I think Nicole was overhated, especially after 18 and 22. She was like kind of boring, and I'm still mad about the E and stuff. But in Reindeer Games, she was a lot of fun, and I think it was a fun win. And I don't know if you know this, if you've seen the clip. Nicole told her family that
she got second place,
and then like watching the reaction of them like realizing she wins is a lot of fun.
It was fun. It was fun. No one expected it. It was good for her. It was sad for Taylor, but that is what it is. With that, yeah.
That made Nicole Franzel the first two-time Big Brother winner. Because Reindeer Games counts.
Wow. Well, whatever. Any last thoughts before I pull up this tier list on Reindeer Games?
I think, like, again, Reindeer Games coming in, we were all like, whatever, like, who gives a fuck? I do think the last couple episodes were lesser quality than the first few. I think...
I still think they were good, though. It was because it just was competitions, yeah.
Yeah. It was
like they were good competitions.
They were amazing, but then like they released it like 3 episodes and then waited a week and then it was 3 episodes, and I feel like at that point, like even that little week break had kind of been like, can we like hurry this up? And the last few episodes were a little underwhelming. And some of the competitions, like all of the Naughty and Nice challenges, were just like, listen to this Christmas song, go find the name of this. They were all like easy competitions until like 7 seconds. And it's like, why are these even here? Kind of.
Yeah,
but it was still fun. I think it was a triumph, especially in compared to what we expected it to be. Like
after BB25,
especially after BB25, after like, dare I say, at the time it came out, it was like, let's see, like a top 3 season in the 20s. Like,
yeah.
It's like when it's better than most of the like actual seasons that have come out. You know it's bad.
With that, let's get to ranking. We have 5 seasons to rank. Celebrity Big Brother 1, 2, 3, Over the Top, and Reindeer Games. And we'll hopefully get this done pretty quick because it's not a lot to rank. And I'm going to tell you, we both know that this is right here.
Yep. I think 6 tiers.
Well, yeah, it could still be... Oh, are we ranking just them in order? We can do that.
I mean, I feel like we can just like cut a tier or 2 out. I don't think we need 6 tiers for 5 seasons. I got to be honest.
Too bad.
Okay. I don't think we're gonna agree on the next one. My memory of OTT is so hazy, and I think it's a lot of fun with the split house dynamics. But I think if I want to watch Big Brother content, America gets in the way so much that it's kind of hard for me to enjoy it.
I will say it's twofold. This is one of the trickiest ones to rank. America gets in the way so much that it's hard for me to enjoy it. Also, America gets in the way so much that it becomes enjoyable because they do just make it go back and forth the entire time. And I'm sure one of the sides might have steamrolled. So the back and forth that America gave was fun as well. And the house, the people themselves was stunning. So it's a really tricky one to rank.
I would give it like a solid B tier.
You think I'm going higher than B? Yeah, I was thinking B or C, and I will go with B. I'm with B.
I could see it moving down to C.
Yeah, but I'm cool with B just because the actual house dynamics were so much fun, and it was an entertaining season to watch. Mm-hmm. You just have to get past the fucky format, and as far as spin-off seasons go, like, okay.
Yes.
All right.
I think my personal number one of all of these, the only thing I would put in A tier, I think this might be controversial. I think Celebrity Big Brother 1 is an A tier Big Brother season.
Oh, I was going to say that too. Celebrity Big Brother 1 is A for me as well.
I think it's a lot of fun, and everyone was trying so hard. I think Ross losing is a little underwhelming, but then he still wins AFP, and it's like it's a classic like mastermind loses the game, like whatever. I think it's still fun.
I think Celebrity Big Brother 1 is clear A to me as well. It really was a great season. Those people played hard. The arcs were good. It was good. It was good.
I think when I think about it on paper, in my mind, it's like Celebrity Big Brother 2 is right next to it. But then I think about it a lot more, and I'm like, it's really not. Like,
No.
all the people were kind of just like lesser versions of Celebrity Big Brother 1 characters. Like, the first couple weeks are like a mess. A lot of it is kind of like steamrolly, just like picking off the bottom. I think Tamar's win is a lot of fun, but I would go like B or C. I think it's
B.
right around OTT. I don't know if
I
anyone.
was gonna say I think. Oh,
I
I
kind
don't
of
know
want to
either.
move them both down to C and put reindeer games in B personally, but
I had a different. I was gonna say so. Reindeer game. We'll just keep it like this for now. We'll address it after we put reindeer games. I thought reindeer games was gonna be A this entire time. I thought reindeer games was gonna be number one. I have reindeer games above everything else.
I like
Um,
Celebrity Big Brother 1 more than reindeer games personally.
I'm cool to do that, but I think reindeer games should be A.
I
Or
personally
actually, I'm cool to move. I see the thing of moving them both down to C
and then
and
putting
putting
reindeer.
reindeer.
I think Celebrity like if I want to watch Big Brother content, I'd rather watch a season of Big Brother, and I think Celebrity Big Brother 1 for watching like for what it
But
is.
reindeer games was so good. Like the people, the cast, it was so good.
I think the issue is I haven't rewatched, and I don't know if it would hit the same after like not right after Big Brother 25.
Maybe.
Because I mean, it
Um,
was a lot of fun, but then it's also like kind of what the fuck. And I feel like not knowing the result makes it a lot more fun, which maybe it probably depends on like how you rank things. A lot of the time, like I rewatch a lot of Big Brother. My season, how I like seasons is how rewatchable they are, and I feel like that as a season, knowing the result makes it a lot less rewatchable than most other Big Brother seasons.
okay. Well, I won't fight it too hard. I'm gonna do this though.
That's fine. I was like, that can go either way. I know you have a stronger opinion than I do.
Mm-hmm. Um,
Um, I think maybe add like a couple more empty tiers between Big Brother's Celebrity Big Brother 3 and the rest.
no.
That season is so bad. Like
Yeah,
it
it's
being
terrible.
like ugh. Make it like F minus 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 minus
Mm-hmm.
minus.
Still think it should be. I okay. Well, I'll agree on B. We'll agree on B. Um, but these were fun. Like I feel like these three are ranked too low. These were three good seasons of television.
But
Like
I
I
think like if I'm ranking them all against each other, yes. But if I'm thinking like Big Brother seasons as a whole, if I'm like ranking them, if I'm putting every Big Brother season on this tier list alongside them, like I feel like putting Reindeer
yeah.
Games alongside other like B tier Big Brother seasons is
And
fine.
I can't forget, like, Over the Top had big problems. And
Or top was so
Celebrity.
fucky. Like especially rewatchable, like not being able like I know all the like diary room sessions are like were findable somewhere, but it's like rewatching that season is so much lesser than seeing it live.
Yeah. And I remember with Celebrity Big Brother too, we all love it because Tamar won, but I remember getting bored and stopping watching for having half the season.
Yeah, it's
Because
like
it got boring in there.
it is kind of just like a steamroll of picking up out the picking away the people that were at the bottom, and like the Tom and whatever. Like there's fun within, but it's like I think
It's good.
I think the pieces are better than the whole.
I think all of these are fine, and then it's just a big gap. Okay, so this is our final ranking. This took forever, but I'm so proud of us, and I had so much fun talking about these. It unlocked a lot of memories. People don't really think about these seasons, but they were things. They really were, and they were a lot of fun. Besides one of them.
Oh my, it's so bad. It makes me so mad.
Yeah.
Especially like I've been again, we've been meaning to make this video. This is the third week now, and it's like I've been saving my Celebrity Big Brother 3 rant that entire time.
Godspeed, soldier.
Shayna leaving is the worst moment in Big Brother history.
I'm down for that. I'm down for that. With that, are there any other thoughts before we sign off?
I don't think so. If anybody's somehow still watching, leave suggestions for videos below. We still have a lot
Yeah.
of ideas that we do have, but it's like if you want to leave some, well, I do read all the comments. Sometimes I don't always log in. I need to do that and stuff, but I do see all the comments. We appreciate feedback. Again, let me know if you'd rather me be back on my phone where I don't look like all these pixels, but I had a lot of fun. I'm excited to do whatever we do next time. Perhaps another casting video. I've been thinking about wanting to make a second chance cast,
We'll
but
see. All right. With that, good night. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Happy Valentine's Day, whatever the hell. And
Love
thank
one
you
another.
for love one another.